Ashley Theophane, this weekend, Manny Pacquiao, thoughts on his performance?
He done what he was supposed to do. He had Brandon Rios there, who isn't known for his speed or his agileness. So he had a guy there who's there to be hit, and Manny done what he was supposed to do.
You know, Rios was supposed to be a tailor-made opponent, so you know, did it go as you expected? Did you think Rios would be a little more competitive, or did it go as planned for you?
Well, if you look at Manny, you know, he's a lefty, he's fast, he's got fast hands, got fast feet. So I just think that he's been at a higher level as well. If you look at the guys who they have fought, Manny's been at a higher level. Cool, he's just got knocked out by Marquez and he lost to Timothy Bradley. But that's like the top of the tree guys. You know, the only guy who's better than them is Floyd. So you know, he's been in the ring with some top level guys. He's lost to, but he's still been at a higher level than Brandon Rios has, and he's come back. He's got a win, and you know, we got to see the next fight. What the next fight will be. So it's cool.
So now 3 fights ago, he was arguably better than Floyd, according to many people. You know, and then a questionable decision to Bradley. Then you know, one punch where he's probably on a way to beating Marquez, or a really close fight, and then all of a sudden he's back down. Does this performance, now a lot of people, you know, are saying he's right back up there again, calling for him to fight Floyd. Does this performance put him back up there in your eyes?
I think there's a lot of boxing fans who want the Manny and Floyd fight. If it happens or not is to be seen. But I think that Floyd always would have beaten him, and I think that Manny still needs a couple more wins. You know, to try to get that fight with Floyd, to put him up there. Because beating Brandon Rios, like, it doesn't say anything. I think he has to beat like Timothy Bradley or beat Marquez again. You know, so we see what happens. It'll be good for the big fight to happen. But you know, Floyd's gonna keep winning whatever, so it doesn't matter what Manny does.
So do you think we're gonna see it at some point?
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
All right, Ashley, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I predicted the W for him. I thought a lot of people was counting Pacquiao out because you know what happened, but you know you can't tell until you know he get back in the ring. So I thought he did very well. I thought he boxed beautifully. He threw a lot of punches. He was stepping on the angle like he usually does. I didn't see that same like strength in that same spirit in him. You know what I'm saying? But I thought he did good for a comeback fight for sure.
Why is that? Do you think it was perhaps because you know his last fight when he's knocked out, that maybe he lost the killer instinct?
Yeah, just that momentum. You know, I think he just got to get his mojo back a little bit. You know, get his little confidence back. I think that was a good fight for him too. You know, it was a good opponent, and you know, Brandon's not no bum or anything, so it was a good opponent and a good time to fight him.
You know, Brandon's a tough guy, but you know, by all accounts, he was certainly a tailor-made opponent for Floyd. I mean, excuse me, for Manny. So, do you think that having said that, do you think that we can really judge too much by Manny? You know, to say if he's back or not?
No, I think he still needs another one, but I think you could tell that he's not shot. You know, I wouldn't say that he's fully back to his potential, but we know he's not a dead man. You know.
So who would you think he should fight next?
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, should he go back and fight a Bradley or a Marquez, or?
I think he should fight Bradley. Yeah, that would be a good one.
And then everybody, I've asked everybody else that, you know, of course everybody's talking about him and Floyd again. Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think that's you know, I know you think Floyd would win,
I seen Floyd hit him on the tweet, shout out the challenge, so I don't know. He said May 5th.
Oh, yeah?
Floyd called it out, yeah, at least that's what I heard.
So if they could work that out, do you think he's probably the most credible, logical opponent? A lot of people say Triple G and that kind of thing, but I mean, honestly, that's just not a logical fight. So,
yeah.
So do you think Manny's probably the most credible opponent?
I guess I would have to agree. I mean, I think he's more credible right now as far than Amir Khan, who I think they're talking about. Even though he did come off a loss, but I think I would still call him the most credible fighter still. You know?
All right, Mike, appreciate it.
Thank you.
I thought Pacquiao looked good. I kind of seen the fight going that way. I know Brandon's tough, so I didn't expect Brandon to lay down, but I knew Pacquiao was a lot faster and real busy, so it played out how I thought it was going to play out, but he looked pretty good.
Now, you're undefeated in your career, so you haven't had to bounce back from a loss, but the one thing, you know, most people predicted Pacquiao to win, but some people were concerned about, you know, perhaps being knocked out in his last fight and having 2 consecutive losses, that maybe that would be the one thing that would slow him down. Were you worried about the same thing? And if so, you know,
you know, it's boxing. Stuff like that happen. You gotta be able to bounce back from whatever, whether it be injury or losses, whatever the case may be. You gotta be resilient in the sport to have success. And Manny's gonna go down as one of the best guys. So, you know, going into the fight, I expected him to look the way he looked. I didn't think that Marquez knockout was going to taint him any at all. So, like I said, it played out how I thought it was going to play out.
Now, just a couple fights ago, people were debating whether him or Floyd was the best fighter in the world based on the performance you saw here. Do you think he's anywhere near where he was a couple years ago, or can you really tell from this performance?
I think he still looked fast, still looked explosive. I think a lot of the fighters that he fought recently gave him trouble because they was live opponents. Not saying that the guys he beat wasn't, but you know, boxing has a way of tricking you. You know, building guys, making guys look a little bit better than what they really are. But Manny Pacquiao is a great fighter, and he proved that by bouncing back the way like he did. But between him and Floyd being the best, it's not even close. Floyd's way more skillful. Floyd's the best boxer in the game, hands down.
What about other fighters in the that weight class, give or take a division? Where do you see Manny right now with those guys? Do you think he's a number 2?
What they just fight at 47?
This here, yeah.
Okay, 47 is a deep weight class. It's a lot that can happen in that weight class. It's a lot of good fighters, but Manny's still Manny, so he's still one of the top guys. He still fight the same way. You know, if you put him in there with anybody, it's going to be a tough night for whoever he's in there with. But I still think that style-wise, he can't match up with Floyd. But I give him a great chance with anybody because he's busy, he's a southpaw, he can punch, and he's accurate.
Now, would you like that? I mean, that's the fight the fans seem to want as a boxer. Is that a fight that you'd like to see, though? I mean, certainly there's going to be money in it if it ever gets made.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it would be good for the sport, but you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be the same result. You know what Floyd's going to do. Manny's going to come to fight, but Floyd will pick him apart. So, but they both will make a lot of money.
And what's the difference between Manny fighting Brandon Rios and fighting Floyd Mayweather?
That's self-explanatory. You can answer that.
One's a little easier to hit, right?
Right, definitely.
All right, Chris, thanks. Based on this performance here, looking good against a fighter most people expect him to look against, do you think that's fair that people are calling for that fight again?
You could say that. I mean, like I think I told you I wanted to see it, right? Maybe like a month or so ago. I mean, just to see a good fight, because, you know, of course I know Floyd to win, but Manny still, everybody was saying, oh, Manny's done and this and that. He was looking good to me before he got stopped by Marquez. It was just a time shot he got caught with that he didn't see, but to me, he was on his way to knocking Marquez out. So I'd say by the end of next year, they probably can, get a fight done.
Now, seeing as that the one loss against Bradley was highly controversial, the other one against Marquez, you can argue he was going to win that fight up until the one shot. Do you think that this does redeem him in a way? I mean, because people before that were kind of saying, who's better, him or Floyd? So now do you think he kind of puts himself right back there, maybe right under Floyd, or is there still ways to go?
But Manny's an animal. You can't deny that. I mean, Manny can fight. Manny is good. He's an animal. So
now he totally dominated the fight, but the one knock maybe in the fight was he didn't have the killer instinct there. Maybe perhaps being a little tentative. As a fighter, how does that can that really get in your head if you get knocked out in a fight there? You think maybe that had something to do with the way he performed?
To me, it's more smart fight. He got to win and look good. So to me, if anything, it's him fighting smarter, because he didn't want to go in with the attitude that he had fighting Floyd, definitely. So I think this actually made him, probably make him a better fighter, because some people feel invincible. Like, anybody can get knocked out if you get hit right, you're reckless. So I think this will make him a better fighter, to tell you the truth.
So now it's a fight. Well, of course you won't pay, but you'd pay to see Manny and Floyd at this point?
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. Oh, yeah.
All right, so maybe 2014, right?
Oh, yeah. I think probably if Manny come back, get him another win early in the year.
All right,
he got to fix stuff with his promoter first. See, Floyd is his own boss. So,
exactly.
Manny got to get his business straight.
All right, Mickey, appreciate it.
Floyd Mayweather Sr. here. This is Jalen I Love reporting. You know what I mean? We had the fights this weekend with Manny Pacquiao versus Brandon Rios. What is your assessment of Manny Pacquiao's performance?
I thought Manny Pacquiao did good with him. And I'm speaking of that particular fight. I think that Manny Pacquiao did good with him because to me, Brandon Rios can't fight. Okay. Those are my honest opinion. From what I just saw from him, I don't see no skills. I don't see no knowledge of boxing. I think that Manny looked very, very good on him. Manny moved when he wanted to, touched him when he wanted to, and Manny was doing everything. Manny was just moving side, giving side angles, cracking him. I mean, dude just to me, he didn't win around. Okay. I mean, I think the fight was a total shutout.
Okay. Do you think Manny Pacquiao was affected by the knockout of Marquez in any way?
He could have fought another fighter, and it could have been a problem. It wasn't no problem with this guy because this guy never did really hit he never really hit Manny with anything. Manny was slipping. Manny was looking like Floyd. Manny was looking like the way Floyd looked over Arias and Arias. That's the way Manny looked against him. Okay. He didn't look like no fighter that was in the top 10 rating. Okay. Period.
Do you think now the victory over Brandon Rios knocks Manny Pacquiao up to a Floyd Mayweather fight?
Oh no, he ain't ready for that yet. No? Manny ain't ready for that. He's not ready. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready when he was doing it. When he was doing his thing, he wasn't ready. Now, with what I just seen the other day, Floyd would do him the same way he did Rio.
I got you.
Wouldn't be no different.
All right, so now, I mean, we got your assessment. What do you think is next up for Floyd? What do you think would be a good fight for Floyd?
Who is Floyd's next opponent?
Not exactly who's the next one. Who do you think will give Floyd Mayweather some type of challenge? Do you think Manny Pacquiao will give him any type of challenge, or do you think?
Oh no, not what I seen the other day. That's not a challenge. I'm being honest with you. I don't see that as being a challenge, man. I really thought that guy, the way he was running his mouth and talking, I thought he was a bad motherfucker, man. I wanted to see what the fuck he can do. I thought this motherfucker was gonna really put something down, man. This motherfucker started off running with his head up, tucked him under his head. Man, come on, man. That was comedy, man. That was a comedy act. That's what it was.
You got your opinion for Floyd Mayweather Sr. And here you go. I got to go work.
I got one more question.
What do you think?
I thought it was a good fight, but I wasn't surprised how the fight went. I thought Pacquiao should have probably stopped him. Other guys he did stop, like Cotto, like Margarito, De La Hoya. I thought Brandon Rios should be easy stoppage for him. You know what I'm saying? And he boxed good for being stopped and coming back.
Do you think maybe the fact that he didn't go for the kill, the finish there was a result of the Marquez fight?
I don't know. I feel like he's not all the way back to what he was because he didn't stop him. And I think that's because he's scared. He's a little gun shy because of the Marquez fight. So.
The fans say they want it now. Bob Arum claims he wants it. Manny says he wants it. So what do you think? We're gonna see that Manny and Floyd fight now?
I want to see the fight. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be a good fight. So I hope so.
Any other? I mean, do you see anyone else that's a more logical contender right now at this point for Floyd than Manny?
No. Floyd, he's the man on top. I don't really see nobody. I don't see nobody messing with him right now.
All right, Andrew, thanks.
I thought he did good. Obviously, it doesn't look like the knockout affected him too much. You could tell he was kind of timid though, like he wasn't trying to take too many chances. But I mean, he looked good. He was sharp. He dominated the fight. His boxing skills are still there. Like, I mean, he's still the same old Manny Pacquiao. So it was a good comeback fight for him, and I thought he looked excellent.
I mean, I can't really touch on too much more. I mean, he nailed it right on the money. He looked good. Sharp speed was there. I mean, you want to be cautious. I mean, Brandon can punch. Timing's pretty good. He just was outclassed, you know what I'm saying? As far as the speed, Manny Pacquiao's speed was a little too much for him, but, you know, it was a good fight. Pacquiao did what he had to do, and he did it well.
So by most accounts, you know, he did have a good performance, except like you said, maybe, you know, a little timid. But of course, with a good performance, you know, immediately people start talking him and Mayweather. Yeah. I'm not going to ask who you think will win because we know what you think. But would he make a credible opponent at this point?
Sure.
In your opinion?
I mean, he's Manny Pacquiao. He's still been in the game since the '96, you know, or whatever. So I mean, yeah, obviously he's a credible opponent, but I think he still needs to avenge his loss to Bradley first and take care of all the other things before, you know, he's considered as an opponent to me.
I mean, definitely it'll be a great fight for boxing. I mean, everybody still wants to see it, whether he was knocked out by Marquez or not. People still want to see the fight. I mean, Brandon Rios is no Mayweather. You know what I mean? So now, off a victory over Brandon Rios, who is a great champion, a great fighter, all the above. You know, it just didn't have the speed to cope with Manny Pacquiao, but Floyd is a different fighter. Speed is there, intelligence is there. I mean, he pretty much has it all, the total package. So, I mean, it'll be a great fight. It's something I would want to see, definitely.
Now, it seemed like Rios was kind of a tailor-made opponent. Someone was going to move a lot, be able to be there to be hit. Were you know, considering it was an opponent that many people thought was tailor-made for him, were you surprised at how easily dominated, or did it go pretty much like you expected? Because the one, you know, X factor was kind of how would he react after, you know, his loss in the layoff.
I thought Brandon would be able to win a couple rounds, but I honestly didn't think Pacquiao was going to look that sharp. You know, he had a year off. You know, the whole knockout thing, we didn't really know. I thought he was going to be able to give up away a couple rounds, but it just was outclassed. You know, he was at a different level and a different, you know, boxing level than Brandon was. And but Brandon tried his hardest. You know, we know he trained hard. He came in pretty big at the fight. You know, he said he trained his ass off. So he came to do what he could. You know, and it was still a great fight. It was still good to watch. And you know, props to Brandon Rios. He came and gave it his all. He trained his hard. He's still a true champion. He's still a great guy. And you know, I'm still a fan of his. So regardless of what happened this weekend, Brandon's gonna be okay. I mean, he still was with the best. So
I agree, definitely. You know, as a friend, you know what I mean. That's my guy. But at the same time, man, a great fighter. I mean, he's gonna be do great things after this. You know what I mean? It's a learning experience is part of the game. You know, he was beat by a faster guy, and I mean, I know he trained his ass off. A lot of people didn't think he had a chance at all. You know what I mean? And I actually picked Brandon to win. So, you know, it was just a good fight, man. A good fight for him. He's young. He's still on the rise, you know. Just because you take an L doesn't mean you're finished. Just, you know, it was two great fighters, one of the best in the world. That is, Manny Pacquiao is one of the best fighters in the world. You know what I mean? So being in there with one of the best fighters in the world, I mean, at the end of the day, either you win or you lose. And he fought a good fight and gave it what he gave.
So this last thing, you know, as far as the logical choices out there, I won't talk about like Triple G, people that aren't you know, people are dreaming about having a fight with, but the potential logical opponents for Floyd, where does he stack up? Do you think he gives him the best challenge, or is there someone else that maybe he's better? No, for Floyd. Yeah, Pacquiao for Floyd.
I mean, pound for pound king. I mean, pay-per-view king. You know, is Manny Pacquiao. You know, he's a world icon. You know, he has experience. So, in terms of all those factors, yeah, he's the only, you know, good solid opponent that Floyd can take. But at the end of the day, that's still Floyd Mayweather. So, I mean, there's always gonna be opponents for him. You know, but yeah, I guess, you know, Pacquiao's been here the longest, so I don't see nobody else.
And it's a fight that the world wants to see as well. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm sure it will happen. I'm sure it will happen before Floyd's career is over with. Like he said earlier, I mean, Pacquiao still has some things to do as far as Timothy Bradley. You know what I mean? Avenge the loss to that. I mean, there's just still other things for Pacquiao to do. Just because you just got put to sleep. You know, you just don't jump back up over a win, you know what I'm saying, to the top to fight Floyd Mayweather. You still got some people in front of you. So
either you guys get to talk to Floyd? Has he mentioned the fight, what he thought of it?
Nah, I haven't spoke to him about it. As far as I know, he was getting ready for a party in LA, so somewhere.
I don't think, honestly, Floyd is in his own world. dude don't know half the people that be boxing on TV or whatever. You know what I mean? So
He really doesn't. People think he does.
yeah, he doesn't know nothing about. If you ask him, you watching a fight tonight? Who's fighting? I mean, obviously he knows Manny Pacquiao, but other fighters he doesn't really know. So I mean,
And you